That's gonna help me
Let's
say IRL.
let's intro this again.
You got a take deck brewing along. What the f is up with this deck? You got Delver secrets. Let's do a deck tech island, brainstorm, spell pierce, counter spell, murmuring mystic.
That's a pretty
Tangled
Island. Wait, Tangled Island. What?
That's the first one. I'm like, what does that mean for us?
Should we do a deck tech like that where I just name the cards? Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast where we talk about the best format with only commons, Popper. I'm your host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always by Thomas Gunn. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Cameron?
I am all right. Also joined by Hippo Hieronymus James.
That is me.
And I got a hippo fact from ours truly, Jay. He sent us a little email.
Oh, did he now?
The name hippopotamus comes from the ancient Greek for river horse.
Well, turns out my last name being Greek, so that works out very well.
You river horse, you.
Look at me.
I'm just going to call you river horse for fun now.
You go ahead with your bad self.
Alrighty, today...
Thanks for asking how I'm doing.
Oh, today we got like
How are you, James?
I'm delightful. Thank you for asking,
good.
Thomas.
Good.
Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. We got a grab bag of stuff to do. We got another interesting email that we'll answer about a certain card, why it should stay banned. Hippo and I played at our locals, so we're going to talk about that, our tournament report. And Thomas has got a little brewski going, so we're going to talk about this brew. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and talk about like the rules of engagement with Popper too, and maybe some tips and tricks to brew your own deck. Top 5 tips to brew your Magic the Gathering
whatever
Commander
clicks,
deck.
whatever gets the clickbait or
That's
whatever.
Do you ever watch Mojo videos?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They're such clickbait.
Oh yeah,
The biggest clickbait thing.
it's always like some,
and they're the most heinous list I've ever seen.
Yeah,
they're just truly awful.
What do you guys want to talk about first? Which should our forte? Our
Cameron, you want to go over our tournament at our locals this month?
Oh, and we'll do the challenges at the end too.
Yeah.
As per usual.
Yeah. Let's talk about how your guys' weekend went at the cave. I was not there, but I had an RCQ to scrub out at.
Woo.
But
Cameron, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Okay, I played blue-white familiars, as I said. I got to goldfish the deck a little bit. I played against a couple breathing humans before this, and I felt all right. Obviously not super proficient with the deck, because that's kind of a hard deck to feel really proficient with right away. But so I started off, my first round was against our buddy Devin. He was on blue-red terror. He was normally a blue-red fairies player, so he easily converted that into terror, and he kind of spanked my butt. Not particularly close. Like, he kind of had the removal for my walls, and then just like if I try to protect one, he had the counter magic to back up his removal, had the counter magic for if I needed to resolve a big draw spell. So then eventually just like 2 terrors. It's kind of hard to clock that. The one game I did almost win was like a 3 Godfarrow's Fateful game where I just, every time I cast this spell, I just gained like 3 life.
So you're basically able to kind of almost fog every turn.
Yeah, and like I built up like such like a pillow. What do you call it? Such a
pillow fort.
Yeah, not pillow. Such a padding. I don't know.
Yeah, pillow fort.
But that was able to like take a couple beats from a terror and stuff like that. But so Devin got me there. Then I played against Anna on one of our friends as well on Black Green Gardens. She
changed it up.
Yeah, she did. She beat me game 1. Game 2, she mulled to 4, I think. Either 4 or 5. I want to say 4. And I won that game.
Really?
Yes, and it was too close for what, because like that's like if you're gonna mull it to 4 against a deck, but Familiars is a fine one to do it against, and it's like, well, they're not pressuring me, you know. It is a combo deck, but it's not like you're comboing on turn 3.
No.
But so I got her that game 2, and then that was like with a minute left on the clock, and so we're like, yeah, we're not gonna play a game 3. So round 3, I played against Burr. He was on Blue Green Slime Against Humanity.
Incredible.
I want to take a second to shout out his deck. He had some innovations. Well, it's not none that I've ever seen. He decided to add the card Foresight to his deck.
What is Foresight? Can you remind us?
I'm going to try to remember this off the top of my head. I believe it is 1 and a blue for an instant or a sorcery. It doesn't really matter, I don't guess, in this particular context. Is remove 3 cards from your deck, put them into exile, draw a card.
At the beginning of the next turn's upkeep.
Oh, sorry. Beginning of next turn's upkeep, draw a card.
Best blue card printed in Alliances.
So it exiles 3.
Debatable.
So it exiles 3 Slime Against Humanity, and so it makes your thing's huge. Yep, it makes your slimes huge.
Force Will's not that good when the best thing you're countering the set is Foresight.
I'll
Sure.
hold judgment, and you can continue with your tournament report.
Okay, so Burr got me with Slimes game 1. Games 2 and 3, I kept a hand with the card Snapping It, and was able to win that way, stall some time until I got into some little loops and stuff. And then next, round 4, I played against Hippo, who was on... Can I tell him what you're on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You already said it. You were on Flickertron. You already said it last time anyway. I don't even remember who got game 1 and who got game 2.
You got game 1, I believe. And I think I won the post-board games. Or, sorry, won the second game.
Yeah. I don't even remember what happened though.
They were very long.
Yeah, I don't. That's what's weird. Like I don't remember what happened. The game you won.
The game that you did win involved a Murmuring Mystic. I will tell you.
Yeah. I kind of got a Murmuring Mystic. I was able to slam one out pretty fast and like ride that to victory.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the story with this deck a lot. I didn't win off gaining infinite life ever, and I won a couple games on a Archaeomancer Ephemerate loop.
Yep.
And most of the games were just like, yeah, I accrued so much value from this Murmuring Mystic. Like I drew so many cards and I'm way ahead of my opponent on resources. It is fun to snap for 1 mana and untap 2 bounce lands. Like I gotta admit that is really, really fun.
It is super sweet.
But I do remember one of the games. I think the game that you won, I had an Archaeomancer.
Yeah, it was game 1. I conceded to Archaeomancer loop.
No,
Was it not?
No, I ephemerated it, and then like the next turn, I just didn't cast my Ephemerate from exile.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
So
beyond
that was game 1.
angry
That was
at
game
myself.
1. I won that game.
You
neglected to cast an Ephemerate.
It was not in the best spot to be playing.
No, and
like,
then
familiar.
and then the next game you got me after a little grinding. You landed a Murmuring Mystic and then rode that to victory. And then game 3 where both of our decks were pretty slow, so obviously we're probably gonna go to time.
Yeah, so who anybody could have won game 3. It was, but I nicely conceded to you. But it was anybody's game still.
We'll tell you how that one went on my side. But you're round 5.
Round 5, I went home and fed my cats before Cube. It was against.
I'm sorry. Who was your opponent supposed to be?
It was supposed to be Jay, and he was he was so mad at me that
I didn't know about that.
he was like, "All right, you ready?" He's like, "Let's play." I'm like, "I'm gonna go home and feed my cats before I like go hang out and Cube with people." And he's like, "Oh, come on, man!" I'm like, "You were complaining we didn't play last week."
So that meant Jay
That's how he
had
got
two
two
buys
buys.
that day.
Oh. and
Oh god.
and yeah, that was fun. Sorry about that, Jay, but I needed to do that. I'm glad I did because I was able to get some food to go, stop by my house, feed my cats, eat my food, and
Cube with your friends.
yeah, then after that, like leave and cue my friends. So like I needed the time, so I'm glad that worked out pretty well. This is my first event in a minute where I didn't top 8.
I believe this is the first one you've at the game cave you've not top 8'd.
Not the first ever.
Is it not?
No.
This is one of two.
One of 2 times you've not
Two
top
Pauper
8'd.
events you have not top 8'd or top
Dang.
4'd.
Okay, we'll say that. I like that statistic. Even
That's
if it's
pretty.
made up.
That's pretty good.
Still pretty good track.
It's pretty good track record.
Overall, on familiars, I hated it.
You did not look like you were having a good
The
time.
deck it sucks. I don't know how people play this deck and like do well with it.
They're
The-
gonna
the-
come,
the-
they're gonna come out for
The,
you
pe-
with
the,
pitchforks.
pe-
know.
the people who have been playing that deck have played it forever.
Yeah, imagine if they put that brain power somewhere else.
They have
probably
played.
play the
They have
Pro
played
Tour.
that deck forever, and they have obviously won for some reason or another. I think the deck is good. I think it's fine. It's a fine deck. I think it is an okay deck if you know what you're doing. Like consistently, like every turn of the game, you like have a game. Like you have like a solid game plan. Like every turn, and you're able to navigate the games because you've played so much of the deck.
And I think the deck is good against like into like mono red and stuff. That's
Yes.
not something I saw in. It's probably not bad into Affinity either. Also, not a deck I played against. But when you're just like this, you're just trying to draw all these cards, not committing too much to the board besides your 04s and 03s, and your opponent's attacking you with like terrors or something bigger, like something with glitters or something. Or like Gardens is like, I thought Gardens would have been an easy matchup because like, okay, I could just hold my walls, but they just got so many kill spells to burn and stuff. And once they land the initiative, it's really hard to get it back. Like you really like have to lean into Murmuring Mystic. I thought Murmuring Mystic was the best card in the deck. The games I won were mostly off the back of that Murmuring Mystic, like making the birds and stuff, giving me like if my opponent played the Monarch or the initiative, letting me able to contest that. Otherwise, I have Mole Drifter. Even then, I have Mole Drifters. 4 Mole Drifters and 2 Murmuring Mystics that could really swing to the initiative.
Yeah.
And 3 Archaeomancers, but 4 mana 1/2s
Right.
isn't
not a
great.
lot.
So
you're telling me you would play this again?
no, I'm not gonna play this again. Like I maybe in the future, if once like you forget about it. Once I forget about how bad of a time I had with it.
Yeah, there's like nobody. There's nobody consistent that plays it at our shop. There's
That's a mulligan.
That's a keep.
No, nobody
and
plays it.
nobody plays it consistently, and it's like it's a hard deck to play, and it's one of those you got to be kind of devoted to it, and then like be ready to like lose or win with it. Like you just got to be with it at all times. There are some people who are like that. They just play this deck in and out. They know all the ways to play it, so on and so forth. But yeah, this deck is a hard deck to play. It's very incredibly difficult.
There was one game I think I lost to because I Ash Barons on turn 1 got a plane so I could turn to Wall or Familiar.
Sunscape.
Yeah, I don't know why I forgot what the card was. And that plane's like later like bit me so hard in the butt so far down the line because I needed like 4 blue to do something, like 4 blue pips, and I only had 3 blue pips, and it was just like I'm staring at this basic plane just like I hate you so much.
I remember in our match you had like 2 planes and you were just trying to find a way to get rid of it like at all costs.
Yeah, that one turned out all right. That was the game. That was the last game that we drew. That could have been anybody's game. That I nicely conceded to you. But how did your tournament go? You played Flickertron. We established.
I did play Flickertron. I played the version with no crop rotations and played 4 of the expedition map instead. Round 1, I played against our buddy Blake. He was playing Bant Glitter's Affinity. Game 1, I established a fog loop with mnemonic wall quick enough.
What's that loop look like?
It involves ghostly flicker and 2 walls and a moment's piece.
Yeah, nice.
And I had to go through a bunch of moment's piece to actually get to that point. I actually went through like 2 with flashback moment's piece to get to that point. I had to buy enough time, just buy enough time because the deck's not playing Galvanic Blast, so I wasn't like in danger of getting bolted to the face or whatever. So I can just sit there and play to the board and play with what is on the board. So yeah, I was able to establish a flicker line to infinitely fog him, and then game 2, something very similar. He did not let it get that far. He knew the writing was on the wall, so he just backed up the cards. Round 2, I played against Mr. Scion Taubman. He was playing Jeskai Affinity, I believe. Mm-hmm. And yes, he's playing Jeskai Affinity because he's playing Thoughtcast and Synthesizer. Game 1 was pretty close. I was able to exchange a lot of resources with a lot of his creatures on the board, be able to like flicker runaway boulders and like ping down his creatures enough. And he was able to chip in just for enough damage across having like 1-2s and 2-2s across his board.
What did you say he was playing? I'm sorry.
Jeskai Glitters.
Oh, okay.
And then he caught me on a turn where I didn't have double colored source available to me, and he was able to double galvanic blast me for lethal.
Gotcha.
Because if he had caught me with two colored sources, I would have been able to mystical teachings for a weather the storm and not die. But he got me just the right time where I didn't have double colored, and he got me. And then game 2, I kept a 7-card hand with like 3 lands, and I looked at like I think 15 cards to find a 4th land, which wasn't even a land; it was a Lorien revealed, and I lost. Shocking.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got me 2-0. And then round 3, I also played against our buddy Devin, who was on Blue Red Terror, and I lost 1-2. The games he won, he was able to just play like a Murmuring Mystic and just back it up with counter magic and basically not lose the game. So he got me 1-2, or I lost 1-2. He got me, and then Cameron, our match. I believe game 1 I won because you missed the ephemerate thing.
One of us won game 1, one of us won game
2. And then the third game went on for quite some time. We did exchange a lot of resources. Like we both got to kind of enact our game plan a lot. And then we did go to turns where in turns I did establish that I was able to like Denrova Horror with Flicker and Mnemonic Wall, like, I don't know, 6 times a turn.
Yeah.
The game was basically over. We didn't actually finish the game, but you conceded to me because you knew the writing was on the wall. So you gave it to me. I appreciate that. And then I was supposed to play against our friend Anna, who was on Black Green Gardens, like Cameron had mentioned. And she conceded to me because she did not have a chance to get in top 8, but I did. And that put me in the beautiful 9th place.
Yeah.
9th place on Breakers.
Boo.
So neither Cameron or myself top 8'd at this month's. But Cameron, would you like to read off our top 8 of this month to us?
Gunn, would you like to read off our top 8 of this month? We haven't heard your voice too much.
That's okay. Yeah, I can read it off.
Just throw it straight to you.
Before I do, shout out to Mark DeMondrian for another incredible write-up. He does these every month. We appreciate it, Mark. Thank you. Decks in the room. There were 2 other Flickertron decks in the room alongside you, James.
So 3 in total.
One of which was our first seed in top
He
8.
did not lose a game all day.
No, just 3-0 double draw.
He straight did not lose a game. Not even a match. He did not lose a game.
3-0-6-0 double draw.
Yeah.
Deck's busted.
Yeah, he was on fire.
So there were 3 Flickertron decks, 3 Gardens decks, 2 Dimir Terrors, 2 Jeskai Glitters, 1 Blue-White Glitters, 1 Bant Glitters. We had Mono Blue Fairies. We had 1 Koldatha Red. We had 1 Mogwarts Goblin combo. We had the Simic Slime Against Humanity. And we had a Rakdos Madness. And Izzet Control, which is the Terror deck. Familiars, which was Cameron. And a Cycling Storm.
That was Hunter this month.
Yeah. And our top 8 was is it Yonzer? Yonzer?
I'm sure he'll be happy to tell us next month.
Cool. Will, 302 with Flickertron.
No, next month is pre-release.
Oh, that's right. So he'll be happy to tell us 2 months
Sorry.
from now.
2 months
Sorry.
from now. Blah.
First Will.
Okay,
Flickertron.
maybe we'll have to host our own Popper tournament.
Dude, that'd be cool.
That's right.
That would be cool. We could do it. We could do it for charity or something.
We could.
Let's talk about it. Second place, this is all just after Swiss. Second place, Jonathan Turner, also a 302 with Rakdos Madness. Third place.
Those 2 are roommates, by the way.
Oh, they're look at that.
Yep, those are both the Bama guys.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Jonathan. Hell yeah. Awesome. Congrats, guys. Third place, Scion Tobman, 311 with Jeskai Affinity. Congrats, Scion. This is his first top 8. This is the youngster of our group. Jay's son, and he's crushing it. His
Absolute
first top
killer.
8.
Yeah,
absolute crusher.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of
he was,
time.
He was stone cold ready for it today, too.
He sounded like he was in the zone.
It
I was
was.
sad to miss it.
It's so cool to watch him, like, how good he's gotten for how little I've known him,
Yeah.
too. Like,
Like-
he's improved a ton.
Yeah.
Real quick, like the turn that he knew he was about to win against me, like the turn, like I depressingly got my 4th land off my Lorien revealed and played it, and I was like past the turn. He could not have untapped and like gone through his turn any faster. I swear he'd have blazed off the planet. Like if he had just done it any faster.
And-
he knew the writing was on the wall and he was ready to beat me.
Just smashed it.
In 4 or 5 years, Jay, you're not taking a game off him.
No. Oh no. Maybe sooner.
Yeah.
Fourth place, the rest all the way through till sixth place, all at 3, 1, and 1. Fourth, Harrison Keel on Mogwarts. Paul Holt on Koldatha Red. Mr. Drew Carlson on Azorius Affinity. Took my advice and played the Las Vegas Chaos list, I'm sure.
Too powerful.
And we had two 3-2s sneak into top 8. We had our friend Hunter Bish on Cycling Storm, and regular to our podcast standings for local standings, at least in the Popper Cup as well, Matthew Centillis, also on Jeskai Affinity.
Man, Hunter's a regular too. We say his name quite a bit.
Hunter's a good popper player.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
A lot of regulars. And they just split top 8. They're just 12 packs apiece.
Yep.
Woo!
There's like 2 boxes.
Everybody was ready to move on.
3?
Congrats, everybody.
Sounds like 3 boxes.
Good job.
Yeah.
So it was fun. Fun times.
No, I enjoyed my deck. I would play it again, not in the immediate future, but I would play it again at some point.
So it's nice in small doses.
Yeah, it's a fun deck to play. The lines, I will definitely say, I think are way harder with this deck than I think like the Ephemerate deck is, like the deck I played the previous month. But it is a super sweet deck. It's like if it's a deck that gets to like cast impulses for 1 mana, if you have like essentially 1 mana with your Urza's Tower, that's kind of cool.
What a weird meta we had.
It was extremely weird. We had so along with myself and our first place after Swiss, and then an old school Nashville Popper player decided to make an appearance again this month with the Flickertron deck as well. Derek Smith decided to show up.
See, 3 of those.
He was the OG Popper guy for Nashville.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting to see him.
So 3 of those 3 gardens, me on Azorius Familiars or Cycling Storm. So like we said, if someone brought
Panza. Man, if somebody brought Panza this month, they would have absolutely dumpstered that room.
Yeah, they
like
would've tore it
absolutely
up.
just dumpstered that room.
For real, unless they played against like the one mono red player.
Or all 3 affinity players or whatever.
Yeah. There's
Would have been a good room for me too.
Yeah,
As long
I
as I
agree.
dodge you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Everyone else is. I'm slow, but in a good way.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps it up for our monthlies. Shall we move it to? Should we go to that email I got?
Yeah, let's tackle this email. Thanks for emailing, fam.
Yeah. So
Thanks for coming in.
Nick C sent us an email. Why should Sinkhole not be unbanned?
Ooh.
I would love to start.
Take it away, James.
All right. I like to start with the fact that Dark Ritual is legal in this format. We'll start there.
That's
Yeah.
legit. Being able to just turn 1 sinkhole plus like another 1 mana thing.
Yeah.
Is that seems pretty strong.
It's really good on the play.
Well, not
Well, no, it's not good on the play. We wouldn't do it in the draw.
Exactly.
But
That's
it's
what I'm
still
saying. But
insane.
yeah.
Like I think being able to turn 1 Dark Ritual against or Dark Ritual sinkhole your opponent's not as nasty.
So is it a dark ritual problem?
No, because Dark Ritual doesn't do really a whole like Dark Ritual only does busted things, and I don't think it does enough busted things that like currently that it warrants any type of, to look at it for any sort of ban or anything like that. I think it's in a good place where it does the degenerate glass cannon combo card stuff, that it doesn't need it yet.
It's a weird argument, but I agree where it's like dark ritual is like you're not powering anything out so broken that it needs like initiative, that something needs to happen. But I say like if it
only takes like 1 card or 2
Yeah.
cards that make Dark Ritual just the most busted
like,
card in the format.
We talked about our band episode where it will create problems in the future.
Yeah,
Like,
eventually it will.
It just will. And it has before and it will again. But we're not talking about dark ritual. We're talking about the sinkhole. So black destroy target land.
Yeah. Another argument I will use here in the same in the same vein is Hymn to Turak, also black. That card's not a that card might be more unfun, honestly.
Yeah, we're not talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
We're tying it
Oh,
together.
okay. Loop it around.
Tying it together. Like these, like there's obviously a reason these like double black cards that are just extremely oppressive, like are not available to you. They've kept them away for a reason. They don't provide an interesting gameplay experience for anybody involved. Like there's no interesting line of sinkholing somebody or hemming somebody for that to be like a thing that needs to be allowed in the format. Like it's not doing anything
not
interesting.
an enjoyable experience.
It's not an enjoyable experience for anybody involved.
Like you do it once or twice, it's like you win so many games because they kept like a risky 2-lander and you kept 2 sinkholes or something. It's like, that's only fun the first 10 times you do it.
Exactly.
And then afterwards, it's like, okay, I get it. And I think it would, maybe Gardens wouldn't even be Gardens anymore. Maybe it would just be this mono black control deck. Maybe you still splash green for the initiative, but it's like, maybe even drop Gardens just so you can consistently do this turn 2.
Yeah, just
like
being able to turn 2 LD your opponent is insane.
And you can turn 2 LD in this format quite often, but you need the setup of Arbor Elf on turn 1, turn 2 Utopia Sprawl or Wild Growth. So that's 3 cards you need because you need those 2 cards plus the land destruction spell. But then your opponent has the opportunity to interact with a total of 3 spells, one of them which being a 1-mana 1/1 on turn 1.
Yeah.
So that's...
No, you can do it with one of those. You can do it with just Arbor Elf or just Utopia.
Oh,
you can do
Thermokarst
Thermokarst or Stone Rain
Yep, I was
off
thinking that.
of one of those things.
Okay, so 2 spells, but again, that's a
like
1-mana 1/1.
Yeah,
you're having.
and like the 3-mana kill a land is kind of like the threshold that's like generally been acceptable in like Magic design for like that like middle stretch of time. They don't really give it to us for like less than 4 nowadays, unless it's like a higher rarity or it's got some other like text attached to it.
Like the difference between 3 and 2 is huge.
It is huge.
Like ginormous.
Yeah. Like nowadays, like Cleansing Wildfire is a good instance, which is the 1 under red sorcery. You destroy target land, and then the controller searches for a is it a basic?
Yes,
It's just a basic to replace it. Tap, and then you draw a card. That is really good for like people use it to like ramp yourself and you target your own indestructible land, but it's not actually land destruction in that they get a basic instead. So like that's where the 2-mana effects are these days. We don't get anything that's just like straight up kill something unless you're trying to like deglamour or pick your poison like an artifact land.
But those are super specific. Those are not just any land.
And it's like those decks are doing something so busted. It's like, well, you get what you deserve.
Right. We need to stop that. We need like some way, a way to stop that like pretty early on.
It's like play fair, otherwise I'm going to dust 2 of your lands.
Yeah.
It's like that's not every deck doing that too.
So I had an argument probably about a year ago or so with a friend of mine talking about banless cards in general, not just anything specific, but the rate at which cards should be unbanned at this point is like, what does it provide as a play experience? And that's why I alluded to what I said earlier. It's like Sinkhole's not providing a positive play experience for anyone.
That was the last point I was going to make. It's just like, it's not a fun play pattern.
No.
Like, it's not adding anything fun or unique to the format. It's just kind of, there's not a lot of decisions to make. It's, should I play this Limbus on turn 2 or should I sinkhole my opponent? You should sinkhole your opponent. That's the correct
card's
answer.
Time Walk.
Yeah. Should I destroy my opponent's creature or should I sinkhole my opponent? You should sinkhole your opponent. Like, it's not super, super fun.
No, I agree. So, yeah, Sinkhole should remain banned until many further notices.
Agree. Well, thank you, Nick C, for the question.
Yes, thank
you.
We
appreciate that. So, Thomas, you got a deck of Brewing for us, and that kind of inspired us a little bit to talk about this specific brew, but also like an excuse to talk about the rules of engagement with this beloved format.
Yeah, and just like how it makes sense to approach brewing in really like any format, but like we can talk about like specifics about Pauper. Like what are the the boxes you gotta check off on your list. So a couple monthlies ago, I had played Mono Blue Terror, and I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. It was really fun having the switch go off in my head of be like, oh, this is a Delver deck first, and like being able to play with Delver Secrets and Brainstorm was, I've never actually done that like in my own hands before, so it was so much fun. And Murmuring Mystic absolutely carried me, just like you were saying earlier with the familiar set, Cameron. Just like Murmuring Mystic is a house. Like,
card's good.
There's a reason they printed it at Uncommon in the first place. It's very good. And so I was thinking, like, okay, what is there space or new space available for a Murmuring Mystic control deck / maybe something like a tempo deck that is not playing on the terror axis, so that we're not getting like screwed over by like Relic of Progenitus and other graveyard removal, but we can lean into Murmuring Mystic, which is often what helps us like cross the finish line in these long grindy games, because there's really only like glitters and mono red to really make sure you're staying alive in the early turns. Everything else is kind of grindy these days, like between the Terror decks, the Fairies decks, Gardens, Familiars, Ephemerate, the Tron decks,
Glinthawk deck.
Yeah, the Glinthawk decks they're kind of in the middle there, where like they can be aggressive, but they're
not
also
blistering fast.
Yeah, exactly. You have some time to set up and do your stuff and interact. So that just kind of got my wheels turning, and we've been talking about trying to figure out a brew like section to talk about. So I came up with a blue-green Murmuring Mystic deck. So I started with, I want to play Murmuring Mystic. You guys throw me a couple of ideas. If you want to start a deck with Murmuring Mystic, where does it make sense to start? Like, what's the first thing? Yeah, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Murmuring Mystic.
Well,
making sure you live
Mystic.
long enough to cast Murmuring Mystic.
Excellent. Okay.
Brainstorms, cantrips.
Yes.
Like, so you can dig for Murmuring Mystic, but like also Hippo said, it's like you gotta cast Murmuring Mystic.
Plus be able to cast spells on top of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a ton, like all the cantrips are here, Brainstorm's here. We're playing opts over like Thought Scours and Mental Notes because we don't care about turboing out a terror. So we just want more card selection and more looks at cards.
Are you playing Preordain over Ops?
Preordain over opt?
Mm-hmm. Or you mean opt over Preordain?
I'm playing opt over Preordain. I mean, I could play Preordain over Consider. I just don't have enough. I just don't own Preordains. But we could. We'll talk about this. We're definitely going to refine the list some in this moment. And Lorien Revealed, because Lorien Revealed is cracked in half, especially in the 2-color deck, so that we don't have to have a ton of like forests or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in terms of staying alive, we have counter spells, we have Spell Pierce, and we are also a Delver of Secrets deck. So that we have Delver as an early threat that's forces like control decks or other grindy decks to use some of their interaction or removal to help kind of clear the way for the Murmuring Mystics. And also it's just something to just play to the board. If we need to block with a flip Delver to get like a threat off the board, like that's totally fine too. It's not ideal, but we can if we need to. And then I also want to talk about if we can find room for more bounce spells and things like that. So
I was going to bring up that because with Pauper, like we kind of already said, it's like we have like these few decks that are trying to kill you really, really fast. Other than that, stuff is on the more grindier side. So like if I look at like Golgari Gardens, like that's super grindy, and your engines are like the deadliest speed effects mixed with the Ichor Wellsprings and other trinket artifacts. That deck is buying time by all these removal spells. Like you have all these important removal spells. What I worry about blue-green is if they stick a threat, that threat's kind of there, unless you have like something like Snap to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like the Familiars deck, is because it does get to play Snap. It's like the one deck that gets to play it and play it efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I did like a combination of Snap / Boomerang in the mono blue terror list that I played, and I definitely I have one Snap back in this list right now, which is 1 in a blue instant. It's return a creature to Tundra's hand, but you can exile a blue spell from your hand to cast it for free. So if you need to just slam the Mystic on turn 4, you have a way to pick it up as protection if you need to and get a bird out of the deal. But I could definitely see playing some more bounce spells. We can definitely make some room for those.
Now, one card in your list I do like is the Growth Spiral.
Yeah,
It lets you hold up instant speed and it lets you have the ability to hold up an instant speed interaction while also potentially ramping you for a turn. So you can go from turn 2 to turn 4 or turn 2 to turn 3 and cast the Mystic on 3 if you've held up counter magic and your opponent didn't do anything. And you're like, oh well, I'm gonna cast Growth Spiral and go to land 4 and then put this Murmuring Mystic into play, and then things are downhill for them.
Yeah, I like Growth Spiral a lot. That was an 11th hour edition on the way down to our RCQ Saturday, where I was just chatting with our friends, and Carson was like, "What about Growth Spiral?" And I was like, Yo, that's a great, because there isn't really like, I don't, does Turbofog even play Growth Spiral?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, okay, so like Turbofog plays Growth Spiral, but like outside of that, it's just like,
that was,
I mean, that's like the blue-green deck.
When you had mentioned this idea initially to us, that like the shell of Turbofog kind of crossed my mind, because it's such a good turbo. It is also like a great Murmuring Mystic deck, because it's trying to, one, keep itself alive, and then two, once you've kept yourself alive long enough, you can win with the Murmuring Mystic. This is kind of very similar.
Yeah.
This is just playing a little more aggressive version by playing your Delvers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that I do like to be a little bit more assertive in my game plans.
I've noticed.
So when we say terms like rules of engagement, what does that mean?
So think of the Pauper format. Think of, like we were mentioning the other day, think of these pillars. These pillars in the format that you have, like the hyper aggressive decks. You have like kind of Koldatha Red, and you can argue that Glitters is also kind of in that column. They do different things, where one is going wide and then burning you out, and one is going wide first and then killing you in one blow with a Glitters, or just Glitters and killing you. But they're trying to kill you as quickly as possible, ideally. They have plans to go late if they need to, but ideally they're trying to kill you as quickly as possible. So you have to know, so that's your aggro pillar of the format. You have to know on what important turns is the aggro deck trying to kill you, and how long do you have to set up to be able to A, interact, and B, survive. And so that's your aggro pillar. Then you have your like mid-range pillar, which are like these like Glinthawk decks, the synth decks, the fairies decks, the like any other sort of like, just
mid-range
grindy Grixis Affinity, like all of these types of decks where they're going to be, value oriented. And so they're decks that can grind, that can play to the late game, be aggressive if they need to. You need to know what is going on in those decks, and then you also have like your control decks and you have your combo decks. Almost and like these are generally like the pillars of a format, and there will be common powerful cards in each of those that are kind of the standouts of each. So like you need to be able to beat like a goblin bushwhacker when it like pumps their whole team. You need to be able to counter or kill the creature that they try to put glitters on. You need to be able to be prepared for when Gardens gets to the point where they slam their Avenging Hunter and they're going to try and kill you with the initiative. You need to be able to, deal with the graveyard of a terror deck or a Familiars combo deck or something like that. That's kind of what I mean by the rules of engagement. And so like, that's like the world we find ourselves in when we approach brewing is like, okay, this is what I have to contend with. How do I fit my cool idea into this world so that it will not just fall flat on its face? Because I've played a ton of brews over my time in Magic, most notably at the RC in Atlanta. I played a Thousand Moon Smithy deck in Pioneer, and I got a little unlucky with a couple of matchups, but I also made a crucial mistake in one of those games. I would have won that match if I hadn't made that mistake. So like it is what it is. But I went 1-4 because I was not as prepared for those bad matchups as I could have been. And so like I have fallen flat on my face with many a brew. And so it's important to make sure you're aware of what you're aware of the room you're walking into when you're going to play something off the beaten path.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there are so many ways to track Magic results nowadays that like there's almost nothing that goes unnoticed.
Right.
And you have to be like basically the whole point of this is doing something really powerful that no one's seen yet.
Right.
That's the whole thing. It's like doing something very powerful that no one's seen and no one knows how to interact with efficiently. Like your opponent's probably gonna be like, oh, my opponent's playing Turbo Fog. Like if they looked at your deck without like aside from a turn 1 Delver, they're looking at your deck, they're like, oh, he's playing Turbo Fog. That's because the way your deck lines up, it looks like Turbo Fog. Right. But then you're like, oh, here's a Murray Mystic plus 2 or 3 cantrips. Good luck.
Right.
So yeah, or you slam your Delver and then you're like, in game 1 and then you back up into game 2 with your Murmuring Mystics and it's like, oh, this is a whole different game plan that I wasn't prepared for.
Yes. And there's also a third axis here that I haven't actually talked about yet. This list, I am also playing 3 Avenging Hunters. So I also have the initiative as well. Kind of taking a leaf out of Garden's book in terms of just like having a big threat that can play into the mid to late game and just set that pressure. And also because the birds that Mystic makes are really, really good at keeping things like the Monarch in the initiative and just randomly blocking your opponent's stuff so that they don't get it back.
Yeah, if you were playing against somebody like, or something like Gardens, they slam their own thing with like no backup, and you're like, oh, I have my own.
Yeah,
I have
my own. Or I'll just like in a couple turns make some birds and take it from you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's what's scary about Avenging Hunter in this deck versus Gardens, though. Gardens always clears the way. Like blue-green might struggle a little bit more clearing the way for a Avenging Hunter.
This is something where I think Snap probably comes into play and makes itself.
I think so.
You might also consider, I know, to go with your growth spirals. A card, or specifically, Cement Growth Chamber is a card I would consider.
There are 2 of those in the land space currently.
You can say, especially with the if we were to move into Snap territory, that makes those growth spiral, or it makes those Cement Growth Chambers like extremely impressive.
Yes. Currently rocking 2 Simic Growth Chambers in the mana base.
Perfection.
Could terms of engagement also apply to like what, or rules of engagement also apply to what cards you're able to play? Like stuff like, well, since there's no legendaries in the format, there's no good legendaries in the format, Cast Down becomes the premier removal spell at 2 mana, kill anything.
Yes.
Or there's not like any, there are snowbally creatures that run with the game, I guess, like the emblem creatures, but in terms of card advantage, there's not just a lot of like straight up cards that are just draw to you have to like sacrifice for something to respond. So it's like we're playing these trinkety artifacts with the deadly dispute effects, with demand answers, synthesizer. It's like almost slow / interactive enough where you get to do these weird engines.
Right. And that's kind of where, if you have a brew idea, you want to look at existing powerful like synergies and like packages of cards, like the deadly disputes plus like tithing blades and like random map or clue tokens chilling around from like the inspectors, or blood tokens from epicures, or whatever anyone's doing. Like that is like a package. And like glitters plus like ornithopter, springleaf drum, inspectors, whatever, like that's a package. And so for here, playing like Murmuring Mystic obviously wants cantrips and it wants counter spells so that you can get 2 mystics and then play cantrips, and which also then plays into the Delver package. So it's already pre-built to play with Delvers. And so it's kind of combining those 2 existing ideas together in like not like a new way, but just a different way, just a different angle.
And the pierces and dispels can help protect that Delver secrets.
Correct.
So like you can get in there for like 6 or 9 damage even, and like have them feel the pressure.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
that's kind of the hope, is that against some decks we can just like be aggressive with Delvers and just clear their hand rather than the board of interaction, so that Mystics and Hunters can take over from there.
Oh man, this gives me like the idea that you could like an Avenging Hunter, they attempt to steal it back and then you steal it back with your flip Delver. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
that sounds super sweet to me. I'm sorry.
No,
that's a lot of flyers. Yeah, I'll read off the list as is currently, and then let's see if there's some changes that you guys might suggest we make. I know we kind of mentioned Preordain as another good cantrip option. Right now, everything is an instant, which I kind of like, but Preordain is very strong, as is Ponder, but I think Preordain is probably more where we want to be with this style of deck.
It's a higher velocity
and we might want to put in some more, like some snaps and maybe just a little bit more interaction as well. So right now it's on 18 lands. We'll start there. I am on 12 green sources. I originally had it as 13. If anyone knows the Frank Karsten Mana Base article, I based it roughly around how many sources I would need to cast Growth Spiral on turn 2 reliably. And for a 60 card deck, that's about 13 sources, assuming like for 1 and the color, just assuming that generic 1 is just going to be blue in this deck, because that's just pretty easy and that's what the mana base is set up to do. So I had 13 sources, and then in doing some gold fishing, I drew Broker's Hideout the first time, and I was like, this card sucks. And so I am on 12, so that became the 11th island, and I felt it was fitting to have 11 islands. So the mana base currently is 11 islands, 1 forest, 3 of the typed dual lands, so I have 2 Tangled Islets and 1 Rimewood Falls, just because I don't have a third Tangled Islet. And if my opponent gains a life from thermokarsting my Rimewood Falls, whatever. I'm playing 2 Simic Growth Chambers, like what James was talking about. It's great to put into play with Growth Spiral, is just like helping you get a little bit of extra value there. And then also will be good adding the snaps in to untap and potentially go up on mana. And I'm also trying 1 copy of Quandrix Campus, which is just a tap blue-green land, but you can also pay 4 tap and scry 1, just like if you get into a long, late game. Ideally, this can probably just be a 4th duel, honestly, or a 3rd Simic Growth Chamber. But it was just an idea that I had just to like try it out. It hasn't really come up anywhere.
Doesn't hurt to try.
No,
Yeah,
it's
worth a try. And the other green sources are the 4 Lorien Revealeds, fetching the green duels, and 1 Generous Ent in the creature slot. Which could also randomly be something else as well. I'm not tied to that at all. So it's 18 lands. Our creature base is 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Murmuring Mystics, 3 Avenging Hunters, and that 1 Generous Ent. And then our spells are those 4 Lorien Revealeds, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Opt, 3 Consider, 4 Growth Spiral, 4 Counterspell, 2 Spell Pierce, 1 Snapback, 2 Snakeskin Veil to protect your Mystics and your Delvers and your Avenging Hunters, and 2 Pulse of Marasa to buy them back. You could potentially pick up the Generous Ent if you cycle it.
Gains you life.
It gains you life to help you survive. I like the Pulse of Marasas. I think that's a nice pull into green. So like our green cards are the Avenging Hunters, Generous Ent, Growth Spiral, Snakeskin Veils, and Pulse, and then a bunch of good sideboard cards as well. You want me to go over the sideboard here, or do we want to just talk about this main deck first?
Go on sideboard real quick. I assume it'd just be like Blast, Moments Peace, Snakeskin Veil.
Yeah. So I've got
I've
got 2 Pick Your Poison, 2 Annul, which is the counter an artifact or enchantment, 1 Steel Sabotage, just as another card counter an artifact, but it can also bounce an artifact, so it's that alongside Pick Your Poison is just extra flexibility against artifact lands. 1 Echoing Truth as just a catch-all. I have 4 blasts split between 2 blue blasts and 2 hydroblasts. We have 3 Weather the Storms, which I think are also going to be really good in this deck, and 2 copies of Sandstorm, which is a green an instant for a green mana. It deals 1 damage to each attacking creature. So this is our like end the festivities effect against mono red.
I like that. Any relics you said?
No relics. I don't anticipate Terror being like that big of a deal.
Okay, I think your only graveyard deck that you're really concerned about at that rate is
like the combo decks.
Is like the combo decks.
Yeah, and at that rate, we'll if we find too much of a weak spot, then we can adjust. But
also, there is a point to saying this is not a matchup I intend to beat.
Yeah, or expect to see a lot
because there's not in our local meta. There's not very many graveyard decks.
Right.
There's like 1.
Right.
They consistently usually just 1.
Yeah.
But like stuff like Jeskai Ephemerate too, like you don't consider a graveyard deck, but very much is.
Yeah, I would agree.
And,
but it's not nearly as soft as 2 graveyard is something like these super like linear combo decks.
Yeah, like Terror even too and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A suggestion I had in the main board.
Yeah.
Quick Study, because it's that. So it's why can't I think of that card's name?
Divination.
Yeah, Divination.
Instant P Divination.
2 and a blue, instant draw 2 cards, and so that gives you like some sort of card advantage that I think you're lacking in this current list, besides Lorien Revealed. But you get the choice to hold up counter magic, and if you choose not to, you can slam off a Quick Study and draw 2 cards.
I think 3 mana is going to be a little tough.
That's what
for only 2 cards.
Yeah, but like Pulse, it's like you're on so little creatures already.
Pulse is here because we need to have a way to buy back our hunters and our mystics. That's for the late game, and also just to like if we've blocked with Delver against mono red, we can just at least pick something up. We can also get a land back if there are lands that are going to the graveyard for any reason.
Looking at your current main deck, if I were to pick this up, or if I had like no input from anybody else like whatsoever, I think what I would personally change to add some flexibility is probably cut one of the Pulse Marasas, just one. Leave yourself one, just as an option.
Sure.
And then cut the snapback. I think there's one snapback.
Yeah.
Cut the one snapback, add 2 snaps.
Have them be snaps.
As those
instead.
are your interactive pieces. And you could even go up on some snaps, cutting other whatever random
Sure.
other things, maybe like the snakeskin veils or whatever, because those kind of do the same thing, because they're actually this because they can protect your own creature too. You can just snap back your own creature, or snap your own creature to your hand and then replay it. It's kind of the same thing as a snakeskin veil is doing.
That's fair. In my mind, originally Snakeskin Veil was like kind of part of the reason to be green, to like pair green with Murmuring Mystic to like have the like hexproof effect. But I see what you're saying, that the snap is basically the same thing. It's just more flexible in that it can also interact with your opponent.
Now on your front, Snakeskin Veil works very well with the Delver plan, because you said you want this to be a Delver deck too,
right?
Which is where the Snakeskin Veil I think really shines.
Yeah, I think Snakeskin Veil is super sweet.
It's super sweet. I think it just depends on which axis you want to lean more into. If you want to lean more into the Delver front, then I think the Snakeskin Veil is good. Okay. If you're wanting to lean more into the like Avenging Hunter and Murmuring Mystic plan, I think then the snap becomes way better.
Sure.
Just some 2 cents.
No, I'm into it.
I'm just worried about not having enough instant speed things to do if your opponent's not committing to the board. Just play testing. Keep in mind, like, man, would a quick study be good here?
How do you mean by that? Because what is a quick study versus like an opt? Because they're both the same Murmuring Mystic trigger.
A card.
Opt just lets
yeah.
That's okay.
Well, essentially, you're looking at the same. You're looking at the same. You can potentially look at the same amount of cards with an opt versus a quick study as well.
That's true.
Because you'd be like, oh, I don't want this card. And then you get to see the next card. You're like, oh, I don't want this card either. So it's kind of your trade off. I guess mana efficiency is the trade off here.
Yeah, that's true.
I think mana efficiency is what you want, especially if you can chain together multiple cantrips and things like that with like Murmuring Mystic in play. That's kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Shall we move it to the challenge odds then with this little?
Were there any other ideas y'all had?
I think I go over mine. Snap being the biggest one.
I agree with that. That was what I was going to say. Is the snap?
And should we be playing preordains over these considers?
It looks at more cards and
it would be like the one cantrip. It would be another cantrip outside of Brainstorm that could set up a Delver on a future turn, and that's something that none of my other cantrips can do.
It does that, and also it digs deeper.
Mm-hmm.
It digs deeper, and also it works well to clear your Brainstorm cards if you need that.
It can unlock.
It can unlock you from a Brainstorm.
Another thing I had thought is if we're sticking with these considers, is if deep analysis is something we might want. It's not as good when we're not just like turbo filling our graveyard.
Yeah, I'm listening to that if we're not like into the mental note thought scour territory, and we're not like super hard into like terror, because that's where that card's really good.
Right.
It's a little slower. Like, I liked it in Familiars just because the discount was crazy.
Yeah,
But
cast
like,
it for free.
Other
out of
than
your
that,
graveyard
4-mana
for 2
divination.
walls.
Like, if 3-mana instant speed divination's good, 4-mana sorcery and divination's terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
I think if you're looking for like, if you wanted like another piece of like card advantage, maybe in your board you consider something like
twice.
No, I don't think that. I'm thinking like the fleet, the admiral, the blue admiral or whatever.
Yeah.
If you wanted to add a monarch creature to your deck, because you're like already a growth spiral deck, so you like ramp to 4 on turn.
That's fair.
On 3, and then you just have yourself like this. You slam your 4-drop into play, and they're like, oh, oops, I wasn't ready for the monarch yet.
That's a pretty sick idea.
That's the hardest part about some of these Delver decks too, is knowing when to slam Murmuring Mystic, when to,
right?
Because like most times, like if your opponent has a grip, it's like, I don't want to play this Murmuring Mystic right now until like whatever interaction they have. If I don't have interaction on myself, and with any bird too, it's just like get some reps in.
Yeah,
You know, like, see,
that's the
I
plan.
definitely suggest preordain because it's like, I may not
Yeah,
be
with
like
no
the,
graveyard synergy, it's just way better than Consider. I was just thinking it's an instant, and I just didn't own preordains.
I remember when they unbanned it in
Modern.
Yeah, Modern. People were like, Murktide, like, oh, do we still play this? Because, like, it's the sorcery speed and stuff, and, like, people were testing. I was like, yeah, it's just really good.
You just looking at more cards is just good.
Also a sorcery for Dragon Rage.
Would you
Chandler.
rather top deck a preordain or an opt?
I would much rather top deck a
Yeah.
preordain.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I'll still play Opt. I'll play them over the Considers, though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe do 4 preordained, 3 Opt.
Would Consider be actually better because you
can
have the pulse?
because you can also push. Well, one, you can push land.
That is also because I have Pulse of Marasa. That was another reason I thought about Consider.
The .0000000.
No, it's come up in my like gold fishing already. Of just like, oh, I guess I could just bin this extra Mystic and pick it up whenever.
Yeah.
Another way, if you really wanted to if you wanted to talk about some sweet advantage, you could also play. Instead of your maybe your single copy of Generous Hint, just throwing this out there.
Yep.
Maybe your single copy of Event or Generous Hint, you play like a single copy of like Archaeomancer, and then you can because at that point we've already suggested the snap lines, and you're already playing Simic Growth Chamber. You could start snapping and getting Simic Growth Chamber value with your Archaeomancer.
Cameron
and getting
is backing away slowly.
and I don't know, this sounds sweet, but that also leads me to the territory of you're playing Avenging Hunter, and I'd suggest like an Admiral on the board or whatever, and to go into that plan, if we wanted to, we could play lots of copies of Moment's Peace to protect your initiative or your monarch or whatever. You slam this and then back it up with a fog, specifically a Moment's Peace, and your deck's not super susceptible to graveyard hate because you're not a graveyard deck, and then your opponent's not going to bring in graveyard cards, right? Then they just they're like, oh, oops, these Moment's Peace are just going to get me because I can never get this initiative or this monarch back. It's that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the Moment's Peace in that.
It could be maybe Moment's Peace instead of the Sandstorms, because Weather the Storm, because the those 5 cards, 2 Sandstorm, 3 Weather the Storm, are these are basically for mono red.
Yeah.
And we also already have Blue Blasts.
Yeah.
And Moment's Peace actually has a lot more utility against stuff like Glitters and Fairies and stuff like that too.
Moment's Peace, I feel like you could.
I mean, Sandstorm's also pretty sick against Fairies.
Yeah, that is super cool. Just make sure to do it before blockers are declared. You okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of room for cards to change around if we really if we wanted to. This is just kind of a base template. Obviously, you've seen us spitballing ideas
oh, for sure.
a bunch, but this to tie it all together, you've got to have an idea of what you're trying to have your deck do against whatever format that you're trying to play against.
Exactly.
That's really the short of what we're doing here. Exactly. And Thomas has come up with a really cool idea.
Yeah, you can't jam a square peg through a circular hole or whatever. You gotta shave it down to size.
I'm gonna try.
I am trying with it.
You see the circle? If it's in the square hole,
it does. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Hippo, when you were saying on the Archaeomancer and Snap stuff, I'm like, well, you might as well add Sunscape Familiars, and at that point,
you're banned.
Familiar.
We've moved on. We've moved on.
And that's the other part. Real quick before we move on, that's another part that you do have to be honest with yourself of at what certain point, if you're changing up the list or diluting it enough, and at what point is this just worse version of X? You know,
is this worse mono blue?
Right? Is this just worse mono blue or worse blue black or blue red or whatever?
What if we just made mono blue terror 4 Murmuring Mystics?
Right? Yeah, something like that. So what does that look like? Is Growth Spiral and Avenging Hunter really enough of, and Pulse of Marasa enough of a pull into, and Snakeskin Veil on the Delver plane too? Is that enough of a pull into green that it's viable in comparison to the other things and what you're trying to cover for in the format?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We should maybe we can jam a game or two.
I'd be down.
Hell yeah.
Live on the podcast, or shall we move to these challenges first?
Not on the podcast. We there are no cameras overhead yet.
Yet. Speaking of brews, we got some wild stuff, or wild singular, on Saturday's challenge. no backup challenge on Sunday. We just have the 2 challenges, one on Saturday, one on Sunday.
Indeed.
I see this special thing you were talking about.
Yeah,
This
it's not
looks so sweet.
wild.
Oh, the 8th place list?
Yes.
Yeah, baby, this looks so sick. This looks so sweet.
Oh, boy. Ooh, featuring new
Instead of
cards.
just sitting us oohing and awing over it, when anybody like say what it is.
All right, here we go. All right, we'll get to it right quick. Here we go. Our first Popperton. Also, thanks for going over this brew idea with me.
Oh, yeah,
this is
of course.
this has been sitting in my head for a couple weeks, and
Cool.
It's cool to talk about.
You got a platform to share it on.
Yeah, it's on. I'll post the photo. I'll post the deck photo on Twitter.
This was the platform.
Oh.
But you do that too.
Yes, I'll do that too.
So people can see
Thought you were
see what it looks like.
suggesting I do something. Yeah, no. So I love deck building. I like to. I kind of identify myself as a deck builder primarily before anything else. I always have, and it's really hard to do that these days. Like exactly what you were saying, James, is like there's so many results out everywhere, and so but there are some people out there who are doing it and crushing it. So I like to dip my toe in those waters a whole bunch. It's kind of I've always been that way. So. It's fun. I brought Smithy to an RC. Case in point, it was strong. Just
Facts.
not strong enough. All right, cool. Here we go. Popper Challenge, Saturday, March 9th. In 8th place on Jund Metalcraft is Alvatar, and we're gonna come back to this list.
Yeah,
this list looks sick.
We'll probably spend a minute or two on that.
Oh yeah.
No kidding.
I believe yes. In 7th place, Denisovich Alexei on Green White Boggles. In 6th place, Bombage on Demir Terror. In 5th place, Twister 66 on Cawgates. In 4th place, Purgatory 01 on Glitter's Affinity. This is the blue-white list. In 3rd place, Mojito DFD, also on blue-white Glitter's Affinity. In 2nd place, Burnus Torres on Cawgates. And in 1st place, 9-0, back on the Popper Streets, Mogged with Blue-Black Fairies. Mogged, absolutely crushing it. Freshly new, just getting home from the Pro Tour in Chicago, and just crushing it.
Putting the
Absolutely
fear
crushing
back into
it.
people.
Yeah, putting the fear of God back into people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna talk about.
I was
this
like, as much as I would love to talk about these like normal popper decks that are very good every week to week.
Yeah.
We should talk
Let's
about
talk about this
Glitters.
sweet Jun deck.
Oh.
Let's talk about the sweet Jun deck.
Let's start here. Yeah, we can talk about glitters.
No,
All right.
just play around.
Do we want to just read through the list here?
Yeah,
or
because-
just like other people
Because
they can
okay,
find it?
some of these cards are weird. They're cards some of you have never heard of. I think I had to read one of these because I wasn't sure what it was.
Which one? Toxin analysis.
Yep, that would be the one.
I was very aware of it.
So
I did have to study this draft format.
So the pilot of this deck, they chose their mana base to be a lot of the Gates cards,
Yeah,
but no Gate payoff.
but no. Oh, interesting.
But I guess that allows
Well,
them.
Heapgate makes a treasure.
Heap Gate, well, that's not a payoff. Like I'm talking about Basilisk Gate.
We should just put a Basilisk
but
Gate in there.
it does make treasures for you to sacrifice and stuff. It makes artifacts.
It
It's
does.
something, but it's only 2 of them. I agree with you, Cameron. I could see.
I like
some
adding a
Basilisk
Basilisk
in
Gate.
here.
But anyways,
Yeah.
aside from the mini gates that they're playing in their mana base, the creature suite is 2 Bleak Coven Vampires. For those who are unfamiliar with this one, this is 3 black for a 4/3 Vampire Warrior, and it has Metalcraft. It says when it enters the battlefield, if you control 3 or more artifacts, target player loses 4 life and you gain 4 life. This is where those heap gates are coming in.
Yeah, funny enough, the only card of Metalcraft in this deck.
Yes, it is.
No blast.
Number 2, we have 2 Crypt Rats. We have 1 Krug Clan Shaman. We have 1, this is Thomas Poison, 1 Cerulli Gatekeepers.
Oh God.
There's that gate payoff.
There's a gate payoff.
4 Serrated Scorpion, for those unfamiliar with Serrated Scorpion.
My boy.
Common from Ikoria. It's
My boy.
Single black for a 1/2. Whenever it dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life.
It's incredible.
1 Troublemaker Oof, gotta have answers to affinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 that I have never seen hit a popper list in my life before, but
Viridian
I played
Emissary?
it. Yeah, Viridian Emissary. So it's 1 green for a 2/1 Elf Scout. When it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped.
I love this card when I first started playing Magic.
I also did.
I thought this card was sick.
Yeah, it was super cool. Our instant suite is 3 Cast Down, 4 Deadly Dispute, 2 Duress, 3 Fanatical Offering, and the one that I was unfamiliar with because I have not played a ton of this, Martyrs of Markov, is
Karlov?
Martyrs of Karl, whatever this MKM. There we
Yeah.
go. MKM, that set is Toxin Analysis, which is a single black for an instant. And says target creature gains death touch and lifelink till end of turn. Investigate. Was this on our radar for our cards that we thought was going to be good?
No.
I think it was on like a couple of our maybe lists, and
Not mine.
It
was not on mine.
It was on my maybe list, but we didn't talk about it. This is a card that like just kept going up and up in like pick orders in draft for this format.
Seems like it
And
trades up really well with
yeah,
stuff.
It just, you block or even attack into anything. You just trade, gain some life, get a
Replaces
card out of the
itself.
deal. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's for 1 black mana. This thing is sick.
Actually,
replacing
very
itself
efficient.
is a big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple cool things that just off the bat look really fun for me here.
Yeah. But did you go over the artifact suite?
I have not, but I want to look at this.
Okay.
I want to look at this toxin
Analysis? Sure,
just because
sure,
this
sure.
card is fascinating in this list. One really cool combination it has in this list is it goes with Crypt Rats so very well.
Whoa!
It literally is
gives it
one
death
man.
touch and lifeline.
It gives you it wraps the board, and you gain life for each thing that it dealt damage to.
Whoa!
That's
crazy.
super sick. That right there is cool enough for me.
That's crazy.
Uh,
So if you
some-
pop it for 8, do you gain 8 life from yourself, 8 life from your opponent, and say you hit 3 creatures, including the Crypt Rats? That's
Yep.
a lot.
you gain a lot of life.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Super sick.
really cool.
There's some more fringy things you can do with it. That was the number one thing. I think that's definitely the reason they did it.
Yeah.
Some other
Oh,
things
that
that
also
it
means-
works with Serrated Scorpion because it deals damage when it dies.
Oh, it deals damage. Whoa.
It deals damage when it dies.
That's cool.
It works with Viridian Emissary really well, so you like actively want to trade with it this time. Those are just two of the two things that popped off immediately. were
Card
those-
Clan Shaman.
Yeah, Court Clan Shaman, also another one that goes super well with it. Glad you mentioned that, Cameron. Yeah, no, this Toxin Analysis card, super sweet in this particular list.
Very sick.
This is super cool.
Also, to your Crypt Rats point, like if you've Toxin Analysis your Crypt Rats and you're like on a low life total, you can pay more than your life total and not die.
Yeah, because each trigger will put you up enough. Because you're dealing damage to each thing once.
Yeah.
It'll gain you that much life, however many things
You
you
could
deal
even
damage
just dump a bunch of X into it if you needed to.
Yeah, I'm saying because each one's going to trigger one at a time for you to gain life too.
Yeah, but damage is dealt at the same time.
You know, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
you
it's
can
super-
you can do it that way, or you could just put it all in X at once. If you that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like you know when it's correct to do
Yeah.
the one damage at a time. I do not.
And then to round out the list in the main deck, we have 4 Blood Fountain, which is super sweet, and then 4 Ichor Wellspring and 2 Nile Spell Bombs.
So
Sick.
only red in the main deck is a copy of Card Clan Shaman. That is the only red card in the main deck. It is called Jund Metal Crap, but we don't see
Welcome to the
Galblast.
sideboard.
Yes, the sideboard is very much red. We'll let folks check out the sideboard if they want to come check out the sideboard. It's what you expect from a red popper sideboard. For the
Well,
most
there's 4
part.
Ancient Grudges here. That's
True.
That's a little different.
That's spicy. Well, you're a Jund deck. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool.
No, it's
And-
sweet here.
How does this deck win games?
I imagine you're going to win a lot of games from surprise, if I had to guess. The Crypt Rats thing is probably going to win you some amount of games.
I agree.
Over 0. I imagine that you are.
Are you trying to beat with these serrated scorpions and Verdana emissaries for a little bit?
I think that's the case. Also, these Bleak Coven vampires, if you're able to, because they like also trade in combat really well with a lot of the format. The only thing they don't like trade particularly well with is like exactly 5 toughness stuff. So like, what exactly? Memory Mystic and Terror, the things that come to mind.
Pretty good cards.
And then you can buy them back. You can buy them back with your Blood Fountains,
Mhm, that's cool.
and
I
then
like
just
that.
keep replaying them and draining them and draining them and draining them.
Yep.
But if they, it looks like they already kind of saw Terror might be hard as the 5/5 bodies, and you receive a 2 Nihil Spellbomb's main board.
Yeah.
So I think they might have already identified, all right, those 5/5s can be a pain for me. But even then, it's just, man, you got you got the Toxin Analysis to trade with those Terrors.
Toxic Analysis, it's such a sweet card.
Yeah,
This list,
super sick.
That
And a
is-
4th one on the
love
board
it.
too.
Yeah, this is such a sweet list. This gives us hope for brewing.
Yeah,
This is
no,
the
that's
kind
what-
of stuff that gives us hope.
You see stuff like this. You see Golgari Dredge pop up in here. Like people brew cool decks in the format. Like I remember when it was. I don't remember what I thought. It just completely left my brain. Oh, the Jeskai Affinity deck. That was a brew. Remember, like we were talking about that Poppergeddon. And we're
Yeah,
like, oh
just
my
like
god.
Oh,
one-
because it
like
won
one
first
Poppergeddon,
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and it
just
was
came out of nowhere.
They just took 2 decks and then like brew. There
Yeah.
you go. There's your clap for the lineup. But
An hour into the episode.
yeah, you know, right where it belongs.
But just like the Popper's awesome. You get to brew cool stuff.
Yeah, this is a super cool deck.
But this Dimir Terror deck in top 8, I thought it was worth mentioning that they had 4 Cryptic Serpents in the main board. We were talking about,
Ooh.
hey, why don't they play Cryptic Serpents? Bam, they heard me. They're like, here you go, Cameron. 3 of them right here.
Just
And
for you.
Grimig Angler, too.
Yeah, and 1 Murray Mystic only in the sideboard, no main board. We're talking about how much we like that card. But they also are playing 2 unexpected things, so it's nice they got the extra big bodies for those.
Hell yeah.
Nothing
Looks
too special besides this. Baggles deck is pretty cool. I don't know too much about Boggles, but it's just coming back. I think it's probably good against Glitters, if I had to guess.
It's probably a race. But Boggles has a bunch of lifelinks.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you get
probably okay.
you get an Armadillo cloak. And
I'll
those
have
Put an
stack.
armadillo cloak on their glitters creature.
I'll have either one of you tell
Yeah.
me, because I'm not seeing it. There is two copies of Young Wolf in their sideboard for the Boggles deck.
Boggles? Ooh.
I'm not exactly sure what those are doing there, to be real honest with you.
If it dies, it comes back.
Yes, there are other cards that do that same thing without being a creature. It's.
They should play that charm instead.
Interesting.
That
I think they
regenerates
should
the
play the
beast.
charm. I think
Yeah,
Vitality
the charm,
Charm.
charm's pretty good. I picked one up the other day.
That's
I
awesome.
found it in a bulk bin, and I was like, I'm gonna
Heck
snag
yeah.
this. I also snagged 8 mint copies of original printing Armadillo Cloak.
Let's
And the 5 cent
go.
bin.
That's
Nice.
perfect. That card's expensive or expensive-ish.
It's like 25 cents, somewhere between like a quarter and $1.
Original copies are more than that, aren't they?
They're like maybe $1. I don't know.
I thought they were more than that.
I don't
Anyways,
know. I profited for sure.
Oh,
but
for
I
sure.
have to sell them in order to profit.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true.
speak
That's true.
of profiting. I want to say ardent plea to, as of today, as of this recording, is $20.
It went up to 20. I saw
It's
it at 9.
$20. My 25-cent like bulk enchantment. $20.
They haven't reprinted that thing
thank you, bands.
forever.
And moving on,
Should we move on to the next challenge?
we sure should.
There was an Orzhov Blade deck in this top 16. I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
shout
there
out to
was.
real quick. They're on the 8 Inspectors.
Nice, nice.
We don't know if
How many?
8 Inspectors is good yet.
How many?
But
Really? We don't know.
nobody
we don't know
knows.
if it's good.
There's
yet.
not enough data yet. The technology doesn't exist.
The technology.
Oh my god.
But
You made him snort.
He
That was
can't be
pretty good.
stopped.
You can't be
He
stabbed.
can't be stopped.
I'm not putting 8 in mine, but okay. Yeah, let's move it.
All right.
You're telling somebody is wrong. It is either me or all the Magic Online, and I refuse.
You refuse to believe that it's me.
Hey, Card Kingdom will buy my Ardent Please for $4 a piece. Should I
Well, there
sell
you
them
go.
some?
There you go.
I bet they will.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Moving on, our Sunday challenge. We got 73 players in the challenge. In 8th place, Pedra Stone on Golgari Gardens. In 7th place, Marito 9911 on Blue White Glitters Affinity. In 6th place, Arukas Nobness on Cawgates. In 5th place, Gall on Blue White Glitters Affinity. In 4th place, DJBMP Pones on Blue White Glitters Affinity. In 3rd place, GN42 on Familiars. In 2nd place, Tyrube 1618 on Cycling Storm. And in 1st place, Jose Guillermo on Blue White Glitters Affinity. Looks like Affinity is still kind of crushing.
one card here in this first place list I would like to touch on.
I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, do you now?
I think
Is it a certain 7-drop creature?
It is.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
I have that pulled up too.
So
That's funny.
for those who do not know, this list was playing a singleton copy of Gear Seeker Serpent.
what
pretty
list?
sick.
Gear Seeker Serpent is
All glitters.
basically affinity for artifacts. So it's 5 blue for a 5/6, and then you can pay 5 in blue to make it unblockable.
Yeah, just another big.
It's just a big
big
dude.
guy.
We'd see it show up in the Grixis list.
It used to be. This used to be a much more prevalent card in these affinity lists back in olden times, but it's cool to see that it has come up again.
They just wanted an extra beater over an extra Ornithopter, which is very understandable.
Yeah. This card also, I know we talked last week about the Phyrexian Walker being a
Or
card
the
that
Gingerbread. They have all 4 Ornithopters.
that beats beats like some of the rats and so on and so forth. This is a card that kind of beats all of the cards that you had previously mentioned in that respective angle.
Yeah. 5/6. It's not an artifact.
Yes.
It covers a lot of bases. They're also on 2 Flaring Pain in the sideboard, which is pretty sick, and no ways other than the Springleaf Drums to cast them, I believe, which is pretty ballsy. But I imagine they're like, you are assuming the game's going to go long enough that you will ideally have your Springleaf Drum, and it really won't be too much of an issue. So,
to be fair, I think that's only for
Turbo
Turbo Fog, basically.
Probably,
it has to be, because there's like Glitters doesn't. I'm sorry. Oh my good lord, what's the card? 3 mana Prismatic Ending or Prismatic Strands. That card doesn't care about, or your affinity creatures don't care about that card.
Yeah. Like if you're building up a huge like Glitters on Gingerbread or whatever, but it's really just the moment's peace effects you have to worry about from Turbo Fog.
Also, no Frogmites in any of these Glitters deck from top 8 of both challenges, so it seems like that's becoming the de facto. But like we've talked about before, where it's like Magic can get very Xeroxy, where it's like,
people are just following Chaos's innovations at this point.
A lot of people just see, this list won this challenge, copy paste. Oh, it won. Now it just won this challenge, copy paste, and that's gonna turn into the standard, and that can like kind of lead to like not innovations happy. But we have some good brave souls like Chaos who does the innovating and stuff, which is good.
It's all a bunch of information cascades.
In 9th place, we have a mono white weenies deck in here. I think you're funny. So it's good to see that we still have like other forms of aggro still existing besides. Because it was scary. I didn't even realize until you said it's like the main 2 forms of aggro in our format are mono red and glitters. Other than that, it's like what's really pressuring you. Like we have this mono white deck that shows up.
That deck's like probably one of the closer ones. Like it does have like the sideboard options like to it available. It's just like it gets to play like the best sideboard cards, and that's what has been true for white for like forever. It gets to play like some of the best sideboard cards. Like this, if you wanted to beat Affinity, mono white has got you covered. Like it gets answers. I'm not looking at this list necessarily, but like in general, you get access to Revoke Existence. You get
Dust
to Dust, Destroy Evil, things like that. Like those are some just very, very potent sideboard. Also, any of the Circle Protections. Also, like you get some very, very potent sideboard cards.
But also in this format, the Izzet colors get those blasts going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But no, white has always been like known for its
like good sideboard cards.
For sure. Not too much to say this week. Did you have that stat of how many glitters decks there were in total?
I can run back and look for you.
20%.
So
the Sunday challenge.
20% and
20% glitters
of the whole challenge or the top 32?
The whole challenge.
Okay, so that's a good chunk.
The Sunday challenge had 21%. To give you a breakdown. 16 pilots in total for a 21.9% rate of the field. 9 of the top 32, which is 28%. 5 of the 16, which is 31%. And then 4 of the top 8, which is obviously very 50%. Yeah. So it is obviously doing some powerful things.
Ban glitters.
I do not think that's worth it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let people adjust.
No, I agree.
Because it's kind of how they're like. We're recording on Monday the 11th. Today the ban restricted announcement came out that Cameron was saying in our Discord group of just like, wow, like people just complain about something for long enough and it just gets banned.
Yes.
Like
that is now the Magic ethos.
It absolutely
seems like it.
And I hate saying this, but it angers me. People complain way too much instead of trying to
trying to beat the
beat
thing.
it.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was saying about glitters last weekend when you were like kind of taking devil's advocate side and like talking about like, is this too powerful for Pauper? And like Pauper's a different beast than Modern for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot more busted stuff going on in Modern at like a faster pace in the games than there is going on in Pauper, but there's still a very high power level here too. And so like I would agree with it. My philosophy would be like, try to beat it first before you take any sort of emergency action, because I like glitters as an option in the format.
I do too.
personally.
I do. It's cool. It's a different take up, but I also want glitters to exist with the Grixis affinity as well. Like it makes me sad seeing that Grixis affinity like
Kinda
taking
falling off.
Yeah, you know.
Sure.
And so this is also something that goes with basically any Eternal format Magic. People have their pet decks they like to play. I know this kind of more into the realm of Modern. People having the decks that they like to play. They're like, oh, my random X pet deck doesn't beat the number one deck in the format. Well, it's like, yeah, I get it. Whatever.
I mean, I feel like Pauper's like the best place for that too.
Exactly. Like you get to, like, yeah, you've been able to play fairies for how long?
You see, elves won a
Elves.
challenge.
Yeah.
It was 4 weeks ago or whatever, but still.
Yeah, you can say fairies. Like, how long has that deck been around? The entirety. Sorry, not the entirety, but it's been around for a very, very, very long time in the format.
Like right before we started this podcast, like it like dropped off and just picked back up randomly for no reason.
Yeah, it just all of a sudden became a deck again. Like, though I literally cannot point to a specific shift in the metagame to go, this is what caused it. I legitimately couldn't.
Me too. Yeah.
I cannot tell you what exactly did it, but it just happened to pop back up again, and it's good. So yeah, you can play your pet decks in this format and still be able to like, you know, tangle with like the top decks. Like, so you're not getting punished by picking a deck, sticking with it, and learning your deck, and so on and so forth. Because every color has an answer to the super oppressive cards. In this case, I guess the super oppressive card being all that glitters. Every color of the format has got a way to deal with glitters being a thing. So I don't think there's no excuses here for like it being so powerful that it's like just not worth, you know, keeping around in the format.
So it's one thing when Wizards prints a card like Geological Appraiser and Pioneer, and their intention wasn't this weird combo deck, or Beanstalk. It's like, we didn't even think about the elementals in Modern, where it's like, well,
Right.
Whoops. It's like one thing where it's like, this was never the intention for this card to work like this.
I thought Appraiser was fine in Pioneer, but that's just me.
Yeah. But and then
agree with
that was your deck that lined up really well. But anyway,
Yes,
not
that's
off
part of
topic.
it.
But I think
But yes,
it's easier. Like when a deck's good, like glitters is obviously good. People are gonna play it more.
yeah, or like Rhinos with Violent Outburst.
And
Modern.
like it even seems good when seems better when a good player picks up a deck too, because then it seems really, really good. And I think it is easier for somebody to, instead of reflect on how they could have won that match, maybe I sequenced wrong. What cards could I play different? Could I have mulligan this hand? It's an easier cop out to be, deck's too good, need to get a ban. Ban
Well,
it.
Yeah.
I will also say I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate on this one to say if a bunch of pro players played Pauper like they did in the qualifier challenge. Take for example, they play this glitters deck and then just like absolutely just dumpster the room, right? That's kind of is leaning into that like, oh, maybe this is too good if X amount of good people are doing the good thing.
No, I like Oko. Like Oko being printed, it's like, okay, like people tried to play against Oko and like it turned into, you know what's a good way to beat Oko? Play your own Oko. Yeah, you know.
Even wasn't good enough. Yeah, but like the Pauper's not in that realm. We're not there. That you can beat these cards. These cards are all unbeatable. Like every card, there's no card in the format right now that's just like stone cold unbeatable. That's not got an access of some variety on some color palette that you can't beat it with.
And thankfully, we have the backstop of the Pauper format panel, who are taking a look at all of this data from Magic Online, from big events, listening to people's feedback. You know, they often will like just quietly listen to random people's content and see what the community is kind of thinking about and stuff like that too. So like they have their finger on the pulse of these sorts of things, and if they come to a decision one way or another, like, it will be thoughtful, it'll be well thought out, it'll be well explained in a video, like,
Yep.
so.
And where'd the thought go? Come back. Oh yeah, like, give it a couple weeks. Like,
Yeah.
if
If Glitters is still like everywhere in
It's-
top 8 for like 2 or 3 more weeks,
Yeah,
then,
it's
then
like-
we'll start being
Yeah,
like,
if it's like
Yeah.
it's like 50% of top 8s, then we'll have a conversation.
yeah.
Because
continuing to do 50%.
continually doing like somewhere between like 30 to 50% of top 8s, like that's the realm we're looking
like that.
at.
That gets obnoxious. I agree.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
until then, it's blue-green Memory Mystic time.
Yeah, I don't think it's time yet for Glitters to go. That's my personal opinion. I think I share that opinion with everyone here.
So it's half of this top 8 on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, again, we just need consistency in that realm.
Agree. It just won something big, and then just won challenges after it. So like,
Yeah.
no duh. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, let's pick this deck up and see how it does.
Yeah, people are like, oh, they're just like, they're in awe of all that glitters is not gold. But
And we just ranted about Glitters for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, we
Look
did.
at-
We did.
look
I'm
at that.
watching the time tick by.
Turns out if a deck is good enough, we'll talk about it enough. But yeah, no. Glitters is good. I don't think it's ready to go yet.
No, play Jund Metalcraft instead.
Yeah, play your toxin
Play
toxin analysis.
What a sick card.
Reject Glitters.
Reject.
Accept Jund Metalcraft.
Accept toxin analysis.
Except Jund Metalcraft with one Metalcraft card
Yeah,
in your deck.
I know. Love
Super
it.
sweet.
No artifact lands. I thought I was gonna see some like Jund Affinity
Nope.
stuff.
No, we
going
have
on.
we have a land that makes an artifact though.
That's true. That's true. Does that wrap it up, y'all?
I think so.
Should we intro it out? Get out of here. If
I don't want to intro it out. I want to outro it out.
outro it out. If y'all made it this long, we appreciate you so very much. If you got any more questions or hippo facts, I suppose, go ahead and email them to us at commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com, and that will be in the description, as well as our Twitter as well as our Twitter bios. If you want to send us a DM or some hate mail, go for it. Yeah, peace out.
Later, everyone.
See you, fam. Have a good week.
Rawr XD.
RXD. A super rare dark hole. A super rare dark hole. A super rare dark hole. Super rare dark
Discord Daddy, will you buy me a new Goat Yu-Gi-Oh deck?